But there you go. So today we're going to start by checking out Rise of Industry 2. The second half of stream will be Roadcraft. Basically, my understanding of this game is it's part city builder, part tycoon game, part automation game. I don't know how accurate that is because I haven't played it. We're going to figure it out. But like I usually do with a brand new game, is I'll check your settings and all that. So you can choose your different numbers formats. So I do appreciate this, that whether you're using like, I want to say it's places like Germany that they use, you know, the period for referencing like thousands, millions, whatever, and then a comma for the decimals, or, you know, vice versa here in the US, as well as other ones that I'm not aware of places that use this format. I'm assuming they exist if it's there, but you get that, so that's cool that's there. Date format, you could choose day, month, year in two different formats, or, you know, month, day, year, or day, month, year, so you can have it formatted you like. Autosave, multi-language support, so that's kind of some nice, I'm going to call that accessibility. It's not really around the disabilities things, but making it more localized to be easier to understand for where you're at. It already locked itself in at 60 frames per second, which I'm fine. And I haven't changed hardly anything. Upscaling mode, I'm glad that's off. I don't think I turned it off, but all that. You got closed captions, that's a really good accessibility thing. You can change your volumes and all that stuff. I'm a little concerned about those being up. Let's turn those down. And if we got, well, we'll make that one a little higher. If I have to adjust it, that's fine. Controls, you can invert your axes, change your panning, so that's all good stuff. Yeah, okay, so it's not recognizing the Ebb Dvorak, but that's fine. So I got a couple things in there. And hey, Swap, how's it going? Interesting that cutscenes have their own volume control. I know, doesn't that sound amazing? Alright, so let's check out the tutorial and see what we got here. Okay. Tip, remember, always be closing. Oh my god, I feel like I'm going back to work. Back when I was a salesman.
The last thing we need is somebody looking too closely at this thing. All right, I'll see you around. Hi, I'm Frank Wilson, and I want to turn you into a captain of industry. If you're hungry and you're willing to learn, I can teach you how to build a bulletproof investment portfolio, taking in everything from agriculture to aviation. But before I bestow my wealth of industrial experience upon you, I gotta be sure that you can handle yourself. So, welcome to Spoolsville. It's a little backwater burg where you can come to grips with the basics of business without causing too much damage to your reputation, or mine. So here's your assignment. I want to see if you can figure out how to build the facilities to create VHS tapes, nothing too taxing. Once you've figured out the lay of the land, so to speak, we can take off the training wheels and start making some real money. You ready? Good. Then I'll see you on the other side.
I feel like I've gone back to my first retail job. I feel very much like I went back to my first retail job and I'm watching the training videos on the computer. Topic number 1, introduction. Hello and welcome. My name is Frankie. The board is very much into my business philosophy as outlined in my Frankie Says business tapes. So, they've hired me to help you to get started with Initial Logistics Incorporated. So welcome to the company. Hope you're taking notes, but don't worry if you're not. Like my informational tapes, you can always come back and revisit any part that you've missed. There's going to be a whole new series of Frankie Says business info tapes. It's going to be huge. Only one problem, I need tons of cassette tapes to get them out to my adoring public. That's where you come in. To get our goal making cassettes, we've got to get plastic production running in this region. So I'm going to walk you through the process of going from drilling oil to making plastic to manufacturing cassette tapes. Ready to go? We need to acquire raw minerals from plastic. We could buy those minerals from someone else, but lucky us, there's ample crude oil deposit on this very land. It'll also be cheap and more profitable to extract it ourselves, right? For some orientation, Here's our regional headquarters complex. It contains a number of buildings, including a contract delivery depot, which we will be learning about later. If you do well, you can make my corner office, or you can take my corner office once my contract is up. Let's get a bird's eye view. Move the camera by clicking WASD. Yes, I had to switch to QWERTY keyboard off of Dvorak, so it does not detect multiple keyboard layouts, but that's pretty typical. WSAD, take it for a spin. We use the mouse wheel or Z and X to zoom in and out. We can use middle mouse button to rotate, Q and E to rotate. Great, and by the way, the right mouse button is used to cancel action and close dialogues. I will remind you about it later, once the opportunity arises to use it. Now let's get to it. Also, notice the nearby city of Spoolsville. Right now, it's a sleepy little town, but it will grow along with us. It will provide us with our most important asset, human capital. Alright, complexes and extraction. To begin, we must build a proper facility to extract oil from this deposit. For your convenience, I have enabled the deposit overlay and the overlays bar on the top right of your screen, which shows natural resources in the ground. If you want to do it yourself, it's in the top row right of buttons. For oil extraction, you'll need a hydrocarbon extraction complex. Okay, so I can turn these things on and off. Cool. Alright. Oh, that's water. Power lines, conveyors, railroad network, resource deposits. Okay. By the way, the complex is connected to a connected collection of buildings in a specific industry. You might build a hydrocarbon extraction complex to extract carbon oil, for example. Later, we'll be adding a media production complex to make those cassettes I'm talking about. Alright. Fair enough. To build a complex, enter the build menu in the bottom left corner of the screen. Start a new complex. You'll collect the hydrocarbon extraction complex. You'll first be prompted to select its border, then place the central office. You will only need to be able to, you'll only be able to place complex buildings within the area's influence. So let's make sure the area includes the oil deposit we found earlier. Use the R and F keys to rotate before you place it. Alright, so we're getting a little bit of a verbose tutorial, which we talked about in the past. That there's pros and cons of having the tutorial be so verbose. It's better to go verbose than not enough. But as you can see right now with the UI, I can't see the freaking map under this thing and this thing here and all that. So maybe tone it down just a little bit. And honestly, they could just truncate some of the wording here and it'd probably make it a lot easier. That said, I would much prefer this over go play the game. Alright. Continue. For workers to arrive at your new complex, your central office must connect to the local city via the highway. Sorry. This is also something you can build directly from the build menu found under the storage and transportation section. Regional infrastructure, doing this. Yeah, so it's a little UI heavy. So you're already connected from what it looks like here. Then you're already connected up there. Okay. Until now, the game has been paused, but in order for buildings to construct to speed, we need to let time pass. You can change the speed in the game by pressing the buttons in the top left, or press 1, 2, 3 to change the speed, and space to pause. So 1, 2, 3, and back to 1. Yeah, it's just a little UI heavy is all. Complex and extraction. Now that the central office is done, we can work on the buildings that will extract, store, and transport crude oil that we want. Complexes are composed of special buildings that share access to storage, utilities, and transportation bays. Alright. So we go back to construction thing. It wants us to build an oil well here facing this way. Need to build an oil well to extract crude oil. To edit the complex, re-enter the building UI. We got that done. In order for the complex's buildings to operate, they must be connected to the central building using a road. Fair enough. Oh, access roads. I see. Because as you can see, what I'm already running into now... I just realized they're going the wrong way. Because of how verbose this is, I'm kind of cutting corners on the whole thing. Let's see, your stream just got stuck repeating in an audio loop for like 10 seconds, and then auto-reloaded the whole thing. And now you have a heart button. Good job, Twitch. They heard you individually complain about it, and they decided to address it. Yeah, so basically, we have access roads. Alright, topic 2. Our hydrocarbon extraction complex can't work without access to power, so we'll need to build a power line connection from the supply, the power we need. The utility connector building can be found in the distribution section of the build menu. Distribution, power connector. Hey, Kildrix! How's it going? We are in tutorial land. Think that's the line they're on? But for those who know Kildrix, absolutely fantastic content creator. Somebody definitely recommend checking out. I missed, it says, what did it say you were playing? I missed what Kildrix is playing. Oh, Tainted Grail. Yeah, I saw you playing that the other day. Yeah. New open world RPG. Definitely worth checking out. Gotta grab some dinner, wanted to drop by with some folks? No problem. You have a good one, Kildrix. Thank you so much for the raid. I really do appreciate it. Go check out Kildrix. Absolutely fantastic. Does stuff like, has done Valheim, Tainted Grail, did a bunch of Schedule 1 when that was like the big thing. Vintage Story, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Definitely good times over there. Also like RimWorld and all that. Definitely good times. For those popping in, I am Rual Storge, who play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid, where I used to hold a world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed, at 135,121 zombies killed on one character in one life with no mods, change itemization, or vehicles. That said, that record has been beaten. But I am a variety creator. I do play a whole mess of games. Lately, I've been doing a lot of simulation games, like we've been doing a lot of Roadcraft. We did some hard mode SnowRunner, some Farm Sim, bunch of stuff like that. I should probably pause my game. And that kind of things. I also do a lot of stuff, like I played tons of RimWorld on the channel and all that kind of good stuff. So if you like simulation, city builders, settlement builders, tycoon games, survival crafters, all that, we do a lot of that here. Today we're checking out Rise of Industry 2, which is supposed to be like part city builder, part tycoon, part automation game. The one complaint I've had so far is there's a little bit of UI. Considering this is how much of the world I can currently see right now is right here, that everything else is covered by, like, this is the tutorial taking up half my screen, the build menu. It's a little UI heavy. Can I actually change that? Can I tone down the UI a little bit? This might be my fault. It's my fault, chat. I probably changed that. That's much better. Okay. So, ignore that. The UI is my fault. The tutorial is pretty verbose, but we're getting through it. And thank you, Earth Rush Stoney, for the 95 stream streak. Catching the last 95 streams on this one. I don't remember if I changed that or not, but I normally do increase the UI size. It just felt like that got... So all the complaining about the UI, that's probably on me. Alright, so we're connecting this to power. We can probably unpause again. Talk to. Now that we have the connector in place, we need to attach it to an access road, Otherwise, no workers will be able to get there. Fair enough. Okay. But yeah, so it seems like there's going to be a lot of logistics in this game around, like, do we have this material? Do I have the ability to get the workers there? All that kind of stuff. Which should be fun. But we're very much in tutorial land right now and just working through it. Finally, let's attach the... I've already done that. I connected the power grid just out of instinct, so that's fine. Complexes will also need access to water. Okay, fair enough. I could probably figure this out. There is the water pipe connector. Turn the water pipe going out. Grab the pipe itself, plug it into the grid, and then grab the access road and plug that in as well. With utilities taken care of, the oil well can finally start drilling. One problem. Where do we put all that oil? You can't exactly leave it laying around. If we want to use it or move it, we're also going to need to build storage tanks to safely put away all that valuable crude oil. Fair enough. So we're going to go back to our build menu, go to the complexes. All right, where was this at? So we need to go here, go to the extraction. Ah, there we go. There's the storage tab, storage tank. And already hooked up to the road, so I can get that going. So far, this reminds you of Transport Tycoon Deluxe, letting you build, businesses. Yeah, and they kind of implied that the city here would grow on its own based on what we're doing. That looks good, but now that I think about it, all this space near the road is going to be prime real estate once we start shipping things out. So maybe we should put storage somewhere else. So it wants me to delete the storage building. And then move the storage tank down here. Okay. We'll eventually need crude oil out of this complex if we're to work with it. So we'll need to build a tanker loading facility before going any farther. I get it. So this is the output. So this will be under distribution, probably. Build an access road to... Alright. Tanker loading facility. There we go. Yeah, so basically my understanding is the access roads are my internal roads just for my business stuff, and then the regular roads are for everyone else. Let's wait for everything in the hydrocarbon extraction site to finish building. Now we're good to go. If you click on the oil well, you can now see that it's producing crude oil daily. Click on the oil well, which I'm trying to do. There we go. I had to right click out of that. So it's producing 5 barrels of crude oil daily. And by clicking on the storage tanks, you can also see how much crude oil is being stored, ready to use and sell. I bet you're already raring to go on to plastic, aren't you? Well, not so fast. Now that we're paying folks to work, our hydro extraction complex, we're practically bleeding money. If only there was something laying around that we could sell. Hint, hint, of course. All that crude oil will do nicely. But before we start turning any of that into plastic, you're going to jumpstart your profitability by selling crude oil. This is the main, the main way you buy and sell stuff in Rise of Industry 2 is via contracts. These are long-term agreements with other companies to regularly sell or buy materials. Let's get started by trying to start a contract to sell crude oil. Let's inspect the contracts UI by clicking on the contracts highlighted button. That is a very verbose way of saying that. Highlighted button in the bottom left row. Could you just say click on the contracts button and give me an icon and blink and call it a day? You can start a new negotiation by clicking on Negotiate New Contract button in the lower left corner of the dialog, and then assign your VP of Sales to open contract negotiations. I have a VP of Sales, who apparently is the most dodgy-looking person you can come up with. Contract negotiations, Theodore Jones. We need to grow business in new directions. Let's have Theodore Jones go visit some business partners and see if we can negotiate a new contract. We'll open a contract negotiations, duration 1 day. Sure. Resource, crude oil. Crude oil. I want to sell it. And I can produce up to 5. Negotiating a contract is simple. First, you select the resource you're interested in, whether you want to buy or sell. Then select the company to partner with on this contract. After that, you'll select the exact scale and numbers of the contract. Finally, we choose the delivery point from the drop-down to finish off confirming the details. Begin negotiating and all that. Okay, so I had to click on you. 30 barrels every 7 days. So drop it off at the headquarters. Expected revenue per day is $1,050 at market value, but the actual contract value will be subject to negotiation. Each delivery will consist of 30 barrels every 7 days, average of 4.28 barrels per day. Gotcha. So we can produce 5 barrels a day, and it was smart to be like, okay, let's knock it down a little. Yeah, let's see. In TDD, there is supply points, lumber mills, which you connect to manufacturers, paper mill, and the nearby towns increase the demand. Yep. There's been a few games that have done that. Alright, you've sent your representative to meet with the Warren Mason, CEO of Southwest Chem. I'm gonna go with Chem, even though it's for chemical. To discuss the offer. You expect to hear back by August 6th, 1980. Now your VP of Sales is off negotiating. This will take about a day. When negotiations are complete, you will receive a notification. In the notification bar near the clock on the top left, look for the one at look over that one last time. Make sure the game is unpaused and you'll soon be ready for that. Okay. So we'll get an icon up here somewhere. I'm assuming this is like the duration of the day and then the day itself rotates. So, incoming message with Warren Mason of Southwest Chem. We have evaluated your proposal of crude oil and will be able to offer you the following terms. Please let us know if you find it acceptable. We'd love to do business with you. They agreed to your contract offer with the following terms. 30 barrels every 7 days. They will pay us slightly more than that base value due to the fact that we have a good reputation with them. Alright, I am ready to sign. Okay, continue. Excellent. Let's pause. We've got a deal. They'll only pick up crude oil at the contract delivery point at our headquarters, and all our crude oil is currently marooned at the hydrocarbon extraction complex. We'll need to get the crude oil over to your headquarters before the first contract pickup date arrives. One of the ways we can do that is via deliveries. Deliveries will move resources from one complex to another so long as there's an appropriate loading facilities at both. We built the tanker loading facility at our hydrocarbon extraction complex earlier to provide this exact service. With our loading setup, you can set up the crude oil delivery from the hydrocarbon extraction complex to the headquarters. You create a new delivery from the deliveries manager and get you out of my face. And accessible through the highlighted button on the bottom left. Okay, so I grab you, add delivery, crude oil, confirm, from here to there. Are you sure you'd like to complete the route from the hydrocarbon extraction to headquarters? Yes. Delivering, let's deliver 5 a day, they're saying, which makes sense. Confirm. That's gonna cost us $100 a day to do that. Okay. Incredible. With the oil flowing into our headquarters, the staff is now wondering why they're knee-deep in oil and why you do this to them. And our contract set, we have all we have to do is wait for the money to start rolling. You can check the contract events on the upcoming events calendar. Cool. And this is the tutorial. I'm assuming we get out of go a lot. It'll get a lot simpler. Hey Kim, how's it going? It's good to see you. All right. Now that you're selling crude oil, but our goal is still to make cassette tapes, so we better get started making plastic. All right. Plastic production is a little bit more complicated than oil extraction. We should make sure we've got a great plan in place before we start breaking ground for the new complex. There's a really handy tool for all that, actually. It's called the production manual, accessible in the top right corner of your HUD. Let's go look at it now. Okay, so my guess, without reading, is we find plastic. Cool. And so it's saying we cannot buy it in this scenario. We will need to... We'll store in an industrial storage warehouse. It can be used in all these things for transportation. You're in the way, so I can't actually see, but this is, I'm assuming, the production line is that I can turn crude oil into plastic, natural gas into plastic, using different things, vegetable oil. I can turn just about everything into plastic. I can... Right, so it's... These are things that turn into plastic, and these are things that plastic turn into. I understand. Cool. You're going to review every resource technology building complex available to you. I think you'll find a great tool for planning. How about a tour? On the top, there are 4 tabs, each representing the different categories of knowledge critical to running a successful industry concern. So resource building technologies, complexes. Fair enough. And we can apparently acquire technologies. So this is our research panel. This is a thing about just outlining how things work and what their values are. Here's your buildings and then the complexes. Fair enough. On the left, you'll see the options of the current tab. Don't get nervous. It's a lot of stuff. But I know you can handle it. You know nothing, sir. Here's all the basic information of the currently selected to the left. Cool. In the details section, you'll see a couple of extra data points, lists related to buildings, resources, and stuff. Yep, so prereqs for the complexes. A lot of the goods information is here. For resources, where they're made, found, extracted. For buildings, yeah, basically it's our encyclopedia. I love that they didn't consider that their own window is going to be over it, so it's like, you can check here for like what this can produce, but you can't actually see it because the tutorial's in the way. Can I move you? I cannot. Can I move you? Oh, well, that did stuff I didn't mean to. Let's make sure you're back on the resources page for crude oil. Okay, resources page, crude oil. From here, we want to go to the entry for plastic. We'll go see what we're going into. Open the plastic production. Okay, I was able to still click on it. Yeah, so they've got some UI scaling problems. That when you scale up the UI, some of the stuff doesn't work quite right. And that's not an uncommon problem. Make sure you're at the back of the resource page for crude oil. From where, yeah, we already did that. Great, plastic is made in a few ways, but there's only one of these that we care about right now. Follow that lead by clicking on the highlighted building in the daily production section to look for what we'll use to make plastic. Okay. Looks like we're going to need to start placing a plastic production complex, but we don't have the necessary technology to build one. Let's navigate to that page now. I appreciate that all these things are linked to each other. That is something I've seen missing in a lot of games and gets really, really frustrating when you're like, go find this building in your build menu. And it'll be a game that has like 30 different tabs of build menu. You're like, but where? Where in my build menu do I find it? You know, when I click on this, I'm gonna want that building. Just take me to it. You're not giving me player agency by doing this. You're literally just making more clicks for me. So I'm glad it's all linked together. Once you're on your own, you'll be doing your own R&D, but I'll arrange the technologies while you're working here at Spoolsville. This page is for plastic fabrication, crude oil. As you see, I've just unlocked it for you. Alright, looks like we've got a plan. Let's leave the production manual for now, but you should check back whenever you have a question, or just want to plan your next steps. As you saw in the manual, we're going to need 10 barrels of crude oil per day to get started, but we can't make that much with our current setup. We're going to have to upgrade the scale of our crude oil supply line, so we should build another oil well, or two. That way we can keep our contracts. And so this time it's not telling me where I have to build it. It's basically, they walked me through how to do it the first time, and now I just need to do it myself. And I'm assuming if I have them covering more than one spot, they produce more. I don't know if that's true, but it's the kind of thing that feels like it's true. Okay. Is that not producing 15? How can I see how much I'm making? So you are producing 5, you're producing 5. There it goes. I just had to give it a second to run. Alright, now if you open the build menu as before, you'll notice there's an additional complex available of the plastic production complex. Okay. So you want me to build it right near town. Excellent. I'm sure the residents will love us manufacturing plastic right next to them. Okay, so now instead of walking us through where we have to do everything ourselves, like walk through every step of it. Good to go here. So with this one, that'll be the stuff there. I need to build, did it say 2 storage tanks? It said build storage tanks, plural. Alright, build a tanker loading facility. Okay. Make a power line connector, add a water connector, build a plastic fabrication building. Okay, and then meanwhile, we need to set up the hookups. So the power line connector. And I don't have power or pipes nearby. There's power. Pipes. Okay, so that connects this side of it. We can grab the power line. Cannot build a bridge here. Okay, and we can grab the water line. Okay, so I'm guessing that's technically underneath the water. Alright, now I need to start crude oil deliveries to this location. So that was going here to our stuff here. We have an option here for plastic production now is blinking. No, I'm looking for. I want distribution. Am I looking in the wrong place? 'Cause that's a plastic production. Because we're down to this needing to be delivered. And I'm blanking on... Oh, it's down here. That's right. Add delivery. Yeah, so crude oil confirm from here to there. Okay. We will make that... what? Yeah, because we can use more here. We've got the production. There's plenty of barrels. Why could I not set that up? So add delivery, crude oil, confirm, from there to here. Oh, building is not functioning because it doesn't have power yet? What's going on here? What am I missing? So we have to start that, produce 4 drums. You don't have electricity. Alright, let's try and see what's happened where electricities might not be hooked up. Because that should be hooked up there. You appear to be all hooked up from this side. There's no electricity flowing there. The access road is connected. Insufficient water input. Did I miss a connection here? Because that appears to be connected here. Okay, that all seems fine now. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so maybe I was just going too fast and like things were still getting wired up and I just overlooked that. Okay, so we can move stuff over. And it wanted me to move 10 here, I believe. Okay, so from here, this should be producing stuff to go there. I will probably need to move the plastic over here eventually. And meanwhile, that's just pulsing because it wants me to do stuff. But this should be producing materials now as that crude oil gets there. Look at you, you're practically a mogul all your own. Now you have plastic, we're in touching distance from making cassette tapes of our dreams. For that, we'll need to start a media production complex and a cassette tape factory complex. Looking at the production manual, it looks like we're going to that's going to take paper. And we can't make paper here at Spoolsville. We don't have the wood processing chops to do so. So it looks like we're going to need to buy some. I'm going to let you loose again. Go ahead and find a contract to buy paper and then get started making cassette tapes. I'll check back when you're ready to launch. Alright. Let's see. As you work towards making cassette tapes, you'll need to deliver plastic to your new complex. You may need to expand your local facilities in your plastics production complex to meet the objective. That's fine. All right, so first we have to start a contract to buy plastic. So negotiate new contract. Yep. Resource. I need paper. Confirm. I would like to buy. How much do I need to buy? We don't know. All right, so we're gonna approach this from the other side. I'm gonna build a new complex. Media production complex. All right, we can go to the media production complex. It's going to require consumer goods storage. And industrial material storage. A consumer goods loading bay. Okay. We'll need the power and all that. Just a bunch of art stuff we don't need right now. Cassette tape factory. We'll put that over here for right now. And we can go down to distribution. Now it does make me curious, and I'm hoping it'll be this way, is I am kind of hoping that when we play the actual like game outside of the tutorial, we won't be kind of scripted here. I mean, if I'm doing that, just it's fine. We'll tear up that road. I am hoping it won't be one of those things that you go to a map, it's like, this is the resource you have to make, and there's like a big thing around that. We can also go get the water pipe hooked up, so this time I'm going to take the water pipe over, and then down, connecting it. I'll take the power cable over, and down, connecting it. Okay, let's actually look at the production manual for the cassette tapes. So it's 2 paper to 8 plastic. All right. So I need to be making 8 plastic a day, and I need 2 paper a day. So let's go and get that contract negotiated. So boom, that's not where I do it. Boom. New contract negotiation, assign, select resource, paper, confirm. I would like to buy. We'll talk to you. 12 pallet, yeah, that should be the right amount. So it's gonna cost me 5,040 every couple days. So that's gonna be a problem. So we are going to need to up our oil production to satisfy things. We're going to need to up this. Right now, I'm just trying to bring things online in general. So we need to go here. We're going to need to expand our oil production. That's not going to be sufficient. Whereas I believe that will be. So we can go to probably our existing deliveries. It's fine. I'll be able to up that once this gets built. And then on this side, we're going to need to upgrade the plastic complex, because we're not producing enough plastic. So this should give us enough plastic. Okay, and you're missing a road. I don't think we have more industrial goods need here. Okay, so you're hooked up and working. You are complaining that you do not have the materials, so let's get the distribution online. Can I add more yet? Nope. I will add new delivery of paper. Confirm from here to... Okay, I'm guessing we need these to facilitate the unloading. If I understood that UI correctly, which is a big maybe. This looks complicated? Yeah. But it's kind of like Factorio and all those. It's the thing we're looking at is we have inputs and outputs that we have to set up. I'm sure it's one of those games that once you kind of get the basics, it all gets pretty easy. Alright, I'm ready to sign. Cool, so we've got all that. We can go to our distribution here. I might need even more oil production. We'll deal with that in a moment. From here, though, we can go to our routes. Add a delivery. We want to take the paper from here to there. Confirm. I'll need 2 paper a day. And I believe we needed 8 plastic a day down there. So we go here to add a delivery for plastic, confirm. Why can I not do that? Oh, we're not delivering the plastic out. So we can go here, go back to our plastic building. Distribution. Industrial loading. Yeah, so basically, the different materials that I go to load and unload, I need the appropriate building for them, which is fair. And that's complaining that I don't have resources there yet. Okay, I think this will honestly be a really solid game. Like, right now, we're just kind of figuring it out. But pretty much what we're working on here is we set up a complex. And ultimately, all the fancy stuff we do in here says, I make X of a material. Is ultimately what it's doing at the end of the road. I make X of a material, and that's what it does. Go ahead and build that so we're fully utilizing the oil just because we can. Okay. Alright, now we should be able to wire you up. So add delivery of plastic, confirm from here to there. Okay. I would like you to ship 8 plastic. And in theory, that should have everything going. And then we'll need to start selling the cassette tapes. But I need those to start producing. So they should start producing now that we've got people popping in. And we'll start selling the cassette tapes. Alright, we can dismiss that. We're making the plastic. We can dismiss that contract. We completed the oil well. Liquid pie products was just received into the storage of the hydrocarbon extraction. This resource is not consumed here, and the campus contains no buildings or dockings that can move it. I'll leave that up there, because I'm willing to bet that might be a future objective. Failed due to lack of paper. Can I see what resources are on hand here? Where exactly are... I didn't check. Where exactly is our oil going? Or paper? Oh, it's every 6 days. So I've got to wait for them to arrive. So the first delivery arrives this in-game day, and then we get our paper, and then the paper starts getting delivered over here to produce the cassette tapes, and then I should be the thing. Did you set that up backwards? No, I don't believe so. I think it's literally... Okay, so we should have the paper arriving. So I assume one of these trucks will be delivering paper. And then this should come online. So I'm trying to watch for the truck to turn this way. Because we are buying paper. Yeah, so we do have paper on stock, and we have had a delivery. Okay, so our cassettes are now in production. So we should be making 4 boxes of cassettes per day. Oil drilling, plastic production, making cassette tapes. But Rual, think of the environment. We could certainly do more damage. Exactly. So we need to be selling cassette tapes now. So we'll assign that. Select resource, cassette tapes, confirm. I would like to sell to you. 16 boxes every 10 days. All right, so. That would be 2 every day. Nice round number. In the meantime, add delivery, cassette tapes, confirm from here to there. Okay. That should be delivering our full production. We also need to go here to you. Oh, you know, I bet if we look at here, I don't have sufficient distribution. Yeah, so our distribution is fully utilized. That's what it's complaining about. All right, so let's go here because I need more. So storage. We need to have the tank loading thing. Yep. Congratulations, you've done it. Officially done Frankie's tutorial training program, and I can now award you the Certificate of Completion with all rights, honors, and privileges associated therein. Heh, I always wanted to say that. There's a whole lot more out there that can trip you up, factory fires, utility contracts, regulatories, but now that you've got the basics down, I'm sure you'll be able to weather any storm. And besides, if you ever have specific questions that isn't covered in this tutorial, make sure to check Frankie's tips on the top right. I'm always happy to lend a hand. End tutorial. Cool. So that was the tutorial. Let's see, what you don't like is that they use different rates everywhere. What is 6 pallets and 12 days and 2 units? Yeah, that's gonna be doing some math. So start new campaign. So this will be the actual game now we're going to be jumping into. And those are some very 80s logos. I just want a dollar sign. Sure, we'll do a vaguely CD looking thing. Sure, why not? I don't care. Corporate strategy. Oh, there's like... Alright, so name. Mostly Ethical Industries Incorporated, LLC, Corp. That's fine. So yeah, administrative research collects 1 research per day for every central office. General contracting decreases the production facility construction cost by 10%. Logistics expertise increases the capacity of loading facilities. Regional connection increases the power water delivered to the regional agreements by 10%. Efficient machining reduces the amount of byproducts produced by factories, farms, and mines. Factory footprints allows 1 additional complex expansion facility in each complex. Real estate connection, purchasing land is cheaper. Okay, well, we don't have enough to really make decisions on this. Decreases production. So this is a one-time cost kind of thing when you build stuff. This is just an ongoing research thing, but once you research stuff, I assume there's nothing else to gain from it. The capacity would increase our output on stuff. That's just a money saving straight up. Reduces the amount of byproduct produced by factories in that. Allows one additional complex expansion facility in each complex. I feel like that is going to be the one that has the most stuff to it, but I don't honestly know. It says filter by skin tone, but as far as I can tell, it randomized between them. Filter by body type. Oh, so you choose to be male presenting, female presenting, or either. And this one is you can kind of shuffle through all of them. I see. And then you could randomize. I see. I need someone who looks properly shady. So one with sunglasses and a smile you know better than to trust. It's surprising you can, like, randomize your player character, but you can't, like, choose any of the customizations. Alright. Max malpractice? Sure. Alright. Sure, we can go with that. Okay. So, we have the CEO, max malpractice. We have a thing where we can put an extra location at stuff. We have a 0 company earnings. We have not IPO'd or have, like, series goals or anything there. We've got research. We got $10,000 in cash. I got an executive team. Our executive people are our VP of sales is Barbara Flood, and our executive assistant is Harold D. They've got special abilities. So VP is, let's see, competitive as VP of operations, regional utilities, as a complex manager, factory daily. So they basically have like increase and all that stuff. Luddite. As a complex manager, farm and mine output is higher, but under research, they do worse. And then for you, as a complex manager, they are less efficient on stuff. Short-tempered, as a VP of sales, they will negatively impact my influence. And I don't get to change them. We're just, these are who we get. I could choose to fire this employee, but I'm a little scared I won't be given to see. At least they didn't default the female appearing pawn as secretary. Yeah. And what's the gear? Oh, the gear is just your game settings and all that. Okay, that's fine. Continue campaign. We can choose a region. So we can go to Cleveland, Ohio, or Burlington, Vermont. Develop Cleveland, Ohio into a powerhouse of industrial materials. Alright, select your executives. My only choice is Barbara Flood, so we're going to choose them. I don't get a choice of choosing the other one. We have the corporate strategy of factory footprint. We can choose how much of our resources we want to move around. So I can choose to bring some of my company's cash with me or just sit entirely on seed funding. And same with research. So that's interesting. So you have like a higher your company thing doing, and then a local situation. So it is looking like, unfortunately, we might be stuck in a situation where I'll be on a map and I'll have those 2 or 3 resources on the map and you'll build out your facility for that. I was kind of hoping for more of a macro scale thing, which I think the outside one is, but we'll see how it actually plays when we get in here. Like, I was thinking about having, like, this giant grand map and, like, working things out, but I understand a lot of that stuff in games tends to be very computationally intense.
It was not a bribe. I accidentally dropped the envelope of cash while visiting the precinct. You know, kid, the moment I saw you, I said to myself, this kid's got something. A little rough around the edges, sure. A lack of style, maybe. Bad haircut. But the kid's got something. And then I said to myself, you know what this kid's got? Raw materials, baby. The kind of raw materials you find in Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Cleveland Browns, birthplace of rock and roll, and your first stop on the way to the top. This city is sitting on a metaphorical goldmine of natural resources, all of it waiting for someone to come along and extract those raw materials so they can be transformed into something truly spectacular, just like I'm going to do with you. So I want you to get out there and show this nation that the heart of industry is still beating in Cleveland, Ohio. And for God's sakes, would you please do something about that hair? You're making us look bad.
Hey, man. Cleveland was an industrial superpower. While it may seem that those glory days have faded, in the 1980s, I thought Cleveland would still be pretty solidly in its industrial superpower phase at that point. While that may seem like those glory days have faded, all of the key factors that made Cleveland a powerhouse remain unchanged. The area is still excellent access to raw materials and retains significant technology know-how. The sum of the world in the northeastern Ohio's industrial prowess is as much in the future as it is in the past, turning the area into a central metallurgical output. Okay. So, we could choose the initial investors from the following. I could go with Thelma Russell. Cleveland's got a good access to coal and iron ore. So, to me, that means one thing. Steel, baby. Let's make it go reviving the Ohio steel industry. I know there's big money to be made here. We will get steel production and iron mining. They'll offer $300,000 funding, and then we will need to get we'll need to be able to make carbon steel over a period of 30 days. Our goal of furious furnaces that will need to produce 500 carbon steel in 30 days. And the starting steel sales, we need to get 1,500 coils. So it looks like we get to like 1 to 3 stars. This is like you just finished the thing, and this is you've done it in a certain amount of time. We're gonna go with Mildred Rice. It's clear to me. Glass. Get it? Well, I mean that bad pun, I'm going with steel. Well, once you see the revenue we'll be making, you'll come around to seeing my humor. Anyways, I believe the glass industry, and I'm willing to fund it. Acquire the new glass manufacturing, sand extraction, packing company. Yeah, you made a terrible joke, so we're going with steel. Review region. I mean, that's cool and all, but it doesn't really give me anything. Back to investor. So I'm going to accept the steel offer because she didn't introduce herself with a terrible pun. Growing pains is good too. Yep. Okay, so we're going to start paused. Think we're paused? No. Okay, we're going to start paused. Okay, so we need coal and iron ore. I've got $350,000 to work with. We also, from what I was understanding, if we look in here under technologies, I believe they gave us steel. So that'd be what, metallurgy they said? Metallurgy? Yeah, so they gave us the steel production stuff. So, the things we're going to need to do is apparently I own this land. Alright. The first thing you need to go is here. What resources we've got. So we've got iron ore there, but where's the coal? Because you mentioned I need coal and iron. Maybe we don't actually need the coal. Let's look at what we actually need for steel. So I can go to our little thing that gives us all the information, resources. Do they have search function? Yes, they do. So that's what we have to make for this mission. So I do need coal. And I get coal from doing a coal shaft or a coal pit. Wait, what? That's not what I wanted to click on. There was a back button. Coal. You can buy this from someone you know. You can't sell this yet. Huh. And we do have the research. But I'm not seeing coal on the map. Because it got water, sand, and iron. And then no sign of coal anywhere. Which leaves me deeply concerned. Where is coal? Did you lie to me? Were you all like, yep, there's coal and iron to be found in them there hills. Don't worry. And there's just no actual coal here? Because I'm assuming when we went to build, I have this area, area around here. Now, it could be I can't see materials outside of this, but then the question would be, how would I find the materials I need? Because I can get this online to get the ore popping out here, and we could sell it. And honestly, I could probably get, like, if I can dig up this stuff, we could probably dig this stuff up and just literally sell the materials. So I'm a little worried about that, because as far as the planning side goes, it means I can't really think ahead if I don't know where the coal's coming from. All right, well, let's ignore everything else and just start trying to go. What material were we supposed to find, or does it produce? Does the game tell us? Yeah, so if we go here, we can go, like, I need to do carbon steel, which takes coal and iron ore to make carbon steel. And that's what my objective is, to produce enough carbon steel. And the iron's no problem, it's right next door. The coal, on the other hand, I get from the coal mine shaft. And the coal mine shaft, I need to find a coal steam. And I have the research. Wait, no, I don't have the research. Ah, okay. Well, that is something I need. So coal mine construction, we could acquire it. Okay, so I misunderstood. Okay, so I had to research it first. That's fine that we need to do that. I do feel it was, like, worth mentioning that we would need to do that. Now the question is, now that I have the coal technology, will I see coal on the map somewhere? I kind of wish there was, like, a larger view I could go out to, that I could just, like, see it on the map, or, like, a mini-map easier. Or I just wasted research on a coal mine and there's no coal here. I might have to import the coal. Alright, well, regardless, let's get this started with what we can do. I can get this iron ore here. Is there a max amount? This is as far out as I can go. There's no... M doesn't do anything. Okay, so, let's start here by going buildings. New complex. So I can build a mining complex and a metallurgy complex. So right now we need the mining complex. Turn that overlay on. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So go ahead and plug that right here. And park you right here. Oh, can I fit it? I can't fit it all on one. Okay, so we're gonna extract all the iron we can. I will need a I will need a storage facility, and I'll need a place to, let's see, byproducts. Waste loading. This facility loads and unloads waste byproducts, which I'm assuming I will need to worry about since it's a building that exists. What's interesting is I'm not seeing... Oh, I have to have the storage yard built first. Fair enough. Okay, and now I can build you. And then we need the power and water distribution, which is coming through the middle of the area here. Yeah, let's put along the top like they've got on that side. And then the water. Where's the water pipe? Oh, the water pipe is all the way up there. Okay. Let's have it pop off this grid. Send it over this way. Ah, crap. I didn't catch that I was going to do that. That's fine. Okay. So give that a minute to start building all this area. I mean, like, zooming out so far in TDD or OpenTDD to see the whole map in what view? Why game... Yes, you're able to destroy things. That's fine. Yeah, the coal is the one I'm not sure about. My curiosity is when I expand my territory, will new resources appear in that area? Like, how does that work? So we're building up that facility. We are unpaused. Are you ready to get going in Cleveland? There's some funding the state of Ohio available here to help new industries get off the ground. If you want, I could give you some guidance and release those funds as we go. Or I could give you a lump sum now, and pretty much that'll be the last you hear from me. So which do you want? Decide if Frank's guidance to start out in Cleveland. You can track your investment goals in the top right. Yeah, I'll take the help you can offer as you start out making steel here in Cleveland. Tell you what, Frank. You think you've got the details down, but could use some broad strokes kind of guidance. So how about you give me half of it now, and a bit more once we hit the larger goals. Thanks, Frank, but I've got this. So you can just release those funds. I'm going to tell Frank to go ahead and get out of here. To review your managed investors here, you can track the terms of all that. Yeah, so we have... Oh, we have multiple investors we can go with. Alright, that's interesting. So far, we've raised Series A's investment. In order to get Series B, I need to satisfy at least one obligation with your investors. So we got to get the steel production up. That's what we're dealing with. Steel production needs to be going. Where am I getting all of this money from? I'm just getting a big investment or something? Oh, right, because Frank gave me the money. Right. And you understand Frank might have been able to fill in the gap on that coal. But honestly, I'm already just like, you know what? I would like to have a pause in just reading tutorial stuff. Yes, I've got the harbor. If we have to import coal, we have to import coal on the short term. I don't know how much that'll eat into our profit margins. Yeah. Okay, you built the central office. That's fine. We've already got that information. I can't figure out where home is. There's Cleveland. Yeah, that's Cleveland. 1980s Cleveland, folks. That is what 1980s Cleveland looks like. I'm sorry, 1980s Cleveland is a little bit bigger. Just a wee bit. Tiny smidging bigger. Where is my complex? There you are. Alright. It was Google. You imagine our people having hit this problem? You can see your house. The one toy there. I'm imagining what's going to happen is we get this built. I'll start selling the steel, or start selling the iron ore. And then it'll be, what does that icon mean? The cargo liner CS Cargo has been scheduled to dock at the local harbor. I don't know what that means. Oh, so if I send the... Okay, so if I manage to, like, if something is good up there, I could deliver my materials over there. Yeah, so now we're gonna start going negative on the money, and that's expected because I'm not selling anything. 20 houses at a water tower? Yeah, it's 1980s Cleveland. For the record, Cleveland is a huge freaking city, even the 80s. I mean, that's like 40 houses, but yeah. The point is... Oh, that's interesting. So I can fund to make... Oh, I see. So the city right now can only... good old Cleveland, the population of 296. So if I want more, I need to increase the population of Cleveland from 296 people to more by setting up a couple of apartment buildings. There we go, that'll lead to town. Okay, so we're still waiting on all of our stuff to get built. And you're shutting down due to lack of utilities because it's not hooked up yet. We've already got scheduled to be hooked up. That's fine. They're not producing anything because they're not hooked up yet. What I am curious is what we do with the byproducts. Like, am I going to need to make a trash dump, or am I going to have to sell it to the city to put in their trash dump? So we'll apparently also be dealing with gas pipes and oil pipes and conveyors and railroads and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, so you gotta wait till that storage is done, and then our iron mine should come online. And then likely we'll start selling the iron until we can figure out what to do with the coal. Let's go look at this again. Technologies. Yeah, so we've got the coal stuff here. So we go to our mining complex. We can get strip mining, satellite connection, which basically, for a pretty high fee, will give me a point of research every day. Honestly, just to have some amount of research coming in, I think I'm going to build it. 35,000, which is a decent investment. But that will give me at least a non-zero amount of research, so I will be able to unlock stuff in time. We're also already hitting the amount of power we're allocated pretty hard. It's also interesting that I'm actually getting that research before the building's done. Okay, so you should now come online, because the storage building is available. So it might happen like the next in-game day. We don't have any current active missions. The notifications are fine. The data overlays are fine. Land management. Gotcha. So we can survey... I see. So these are unsurveyed. There's oil down here. There's oil over there. This is empty. This has sand in it. Mineral deposit is likely in this lot. Let's see. We have had to survey the lot completed. You have some idea of what deposits might be found here. Suitable for farming. Resources, there's likely minerals in a neighboring lot. So not in that lot, but a neighboring lot. Unsurveyed. You have no information on this lot. Normal production levels unsurveyed. In order to perform actions on this lot, you must hire a VP of operations. Okay, executive team. Not assigned to any task. VP of operations, none. I would like to start recruiting a VP of operations between 2 candidates. Because it looks like what I'm going to need to do is survey to find coal. That's what I kind of figured, is that we just didn't have coal on the starting tile, and that we would need to get that going. Now let's check our mission objectives again. What is this? Okay. Did you... I don't know what happened there. These are consultants and leaders from other companies. This is my own people. And it popped up a symbol here. I guess we're still recruiting. Anyway, so we are producing iron ore now, and we can use that to give us funding. In the meantime, while we're waiting on that, even though it's probably not a smart idea for me to do it, you know, when has that stopped me before? So metallurgy. I do want to pick up another piece of land so I'm not building on top of these resources. So let's look at the... I want to see... Oh, over a period of 30 days, not in 30 days. Okay, so none of those are actually time sensitive in the sense I have to do it like rush thing. So I can take my time. So land management. So these two don't have any valuable resources on them that we're aware. Like these ones are all clear. Now we do have that one, which we don't have a survey on. We do have this one and all that. We do have up here. We know there's stuff on kind of the other side. So I'm going to go grab... I guess we have to get a VP of operations to buy the land? Because we have land management, and I'm not allowed to do anything with that. Like, I can click on it, but no actions happen here. So I'm assuming we need the VP of operations to make that work. So in the meantime, we are producing... Okay, here we go. One of your complexes just produced some type of byproduct. As part of its process, byproducts will accumulate in storage facilities and cannot be destroyed. To deal with it, you need to arrange disposal contract or construct some type of dumping facility. Okay. Hey boss, Harold D. Just your trusty executive assistant reporting in. Addition to my day-to-day, keeping your caffeinated and your schedule plugging along, I'd like to help out with an extra task. Decide how you can enlist the executive assistant. Let's work towards one of our investors' goal. Come up with a plan for me to review based on one of those. Shadow our VP of operations and see if you two can put together a proposal for acquiring new land. I don't have the option of that. Head over to the lab and go through their research. Be sure to catch something that missed or put in the wrong file. Busy, very, very busy. You know my calendar is fraught. But let's chat again in a month so that we can see about your ideas. Decline and circle back in 30. Well, come up with a plan. Dump it in the river? Well, that's the thing. As far as I can tell, I don't have... Oh, we have a conference center. I don't think we need a trade show right now. We have an amphitheater, which helps with vendors and investors, and we have an R&D office, which makes things faster there. We already have the complex improvements here, and then we have railway station. So we could make the metallurgy place and then import the coal, and that's not necessarily the worst idea for right now. But for right now, let's get a contract going, new negotiation contract. Actually, before we do that, how much am I producing? I am producing 16 tons of iron ore a day. So new negotiation contract, assign, select resources, iron ore. I would like to sell those products. We're making 60. Oh, it tells me right there that we're making 16 a day. You do not currently know anyone you can offer iron ore. Someone you might be able to introduce you to a partner for that resource. Collect for more details. Can buy copper and iron ore. Manage relationship. Ask for introduction for 15, whatever that is. I don't see how much we have. Lunch meeting for 500 bucks. Right. I have 2 influence. Let's just pay to... Bill Tabor calls next day. What an epic lunch. I'm glad to meet you, Max. You gain a modest amount of influence. Okay, I have to wait to do it again. So I can't physically sell right now. As requested, I put together a few things to get started to help meet our investment requirements. Would you like to get started? We are going to commit to making carbon steel. Really start making carbon steel. I've changed my mind. Who will get my coffee? Build and expand our carbon steel production. Sure. Okay, because it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to reasonably sell that stuff. Okay, so we've got our 2 people we can bring in for candidates for our VP of Operations. We have Ellen Wilson, who is organized, who will have more availability in the loading bays and reduce our delivery costs, is competitive. Will reduce the upgrade cost of our utilities and increase our production. And they're methodical, focused on micromanaging to get the gains out of the little things. So the factory utility, so basically, they're amazing. What about you? Competitive attitude, that's the same, and they're a Luddite. Yeah, that's not a really hard decision, considering they don't tell me a difference in cost or anything. Yeah, so I'm gonna hire you. So we've got a VP of Operations, lot search, select design resources, poll, confirm, assign. You start going and looking for that. It costs 15 handshakes. Exactly. I missed whatever that was. Alright, so we need to get the carbon steel production online. Now, what I am hoping is with this, will I be able to acquire land now? So if I were to go here, gotcha. Negotiate an access to and exploration agreement for this lot. Arrange for the purchase of this lot. Assign Ellen Wilson to perform a survey on this lot. Sure. Ah. I see. So the VP of Operations can only do 1 task at a time. How dare she be so limited in her capabilities? I was really expecting more out of you. So problem is these, I will be covering up existing resources. Oh, so we can apparently overlap the borders of our different facilities. And that's alright. Interesting. wonder why that's got a red circle. A red square. I'm assuming we have to... Hey, Lavi, how's it going? Alright, so we've got the metallurgy building here. So we're gonna need to go through the industrial storage building here. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so with this, it'll be the steel carbon building. We can just plunk that down up here. Connect you. And I will need the power connection. And the water connection. Let's see, where's the war over claim option? Let's see. So the weird enemies in Elden Ring DLC. Okay, so we can go ahead and get our power run over here. Inner water. And give me 1 second and I'll shout out that raid. So thank you so much for the raid, Dantalus. I do really appreciate it, and thank you for the follow and all that. And you were playing Rise of Industry 2. Cool. What did you think of it? I'm just now checking this, my first Rise of Industry. It's interesting how verbose things were at the beginning, and then they're just like, okay, have fun. So it's definitely been some figuring stuff out. That's some adorable crabs. Yeah, absolutely. I'm very happy with that animation. But yeah, so thank you so much for the raid. I do hope you had yourself a good stream and all that. We're still kind of figuring things out and all that. So we're getting this stuff online here. We got more we need to build in that complex. So the metallurgy complex, not the complex itself, I already have one. Metallurgy, we've got the carbon production, we'll need the storage. So we have this for one storage, I'll put that there. I'm assuming we'll need the other storage because if there's two, why wouldn't we need them both? It's a pleasure. How do you like the game? I'm enjoying it so far. It started out extremely verbose on like the tutorial side of things, which is fine. But then, you know, it's like now getting to the other end. So waste loading facility. So now we're just kind of working through our first actual level. Okay, so that should get that all online. Did I not build down here? Oh, we're saving. Do we not get the choice? Okay, byproduct. Oh, I already have a byproduct building. Gotcha. It can seem more complicated. Yeah, no, I figured that much. Like, it being complicated is fine, but it's definitely one of those things that, like, they held your hand in, like, setting up the very first thing, and then went, well, our job's done here. No need to talk about anything else. Okay, where's our power utility come from? Okay, so we're not using... Okay, we are using the maximum water capacity. So we're gonna need to modify that agreement. Modify agreement. Alright. I need to give my VP a chance to get stuff done. That's my issue. Is I have an operations VP, and I need them to do more. Is this like a SimCity game? It's more around production lines, from what we're seeing. So less on the city building, more on other stuff. So it's a lot more about, like, you know, I have this resource, I could turn this resource into this material, and then sell that material for money. So it's more in, like, the tycoon automation side of things. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of games. Yeah, we're starting in the tiny city that is Cleveland. We're gonna need to eventually upgrade it. Its population is 296. This is 1980, by the way. Yeah, you're looking at all of Cleveland, Ohio right now. Needless to say, that's not remotely. This is actual Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see. Workers are just a byproduct of the game. Yep. So what we need to do is give our VP of Operations a chance. We have them surveying, looking for coal. And then I need to have them work on expanding our water infrastructure. They don't have enough water to run my buildings. I also need to befriend people who are willing to buy materials. So we are looking for coal. Confirm, sell. Right. Oh, we got something back. Okay. Welcome to our fair city. I'm Anna Jenkins, Mayor of Cleveland. You've expanded quite nicely. I'd like to propose our municipal government as a potential partner for you. So, how can we assist you in getting started in this region? The mayor would like to help get you established in the region. Let's see, I've been informed there's a startup grant newly established city. Accept a one-time lump sum payment to the city. Is there perhaps a subsidy spread out over a few payments that could improve our financial outlook? Accept a series of payments over the next few months. Any access you might have to government research that would be welcome in our R&D, gain research points. You're doing a fine job, Your Honor. Just make sure that our workers are happy. It's the most important. Boost worker happiness. That's not happening. And tell me, Your Honor, when will pro quo portion of this quid pro quo kick in? I'll pass in this charity. Refuse the mayor's assistance. I mean, that's harsh. For right now, I'll take the research. Our money, I'm not super worried about. And worker happiness. I can't feed myself with worker happiness. Oh, bronchitis is no fun. It's a game about defeating the ultimate boss, nature. Exactly. Alright. Yes, our executive team. Yes, our VP of Operations is getting close to done with the researching a nearby lot. Then we're going to get her to up our water supply because that's choking our building's production. That's fine, we're still building stuff. Let's see, you must say, you got a bit more scared of the bronchial lung infections since German streamer had it. An untimely demise after being in a hospital with one for a week. But you know it's okay if one is young. Yeah, I mean, stuff like bronchitis happens. Oh, we are getting a crap ton of research. I only got that one thing of research set up. And I failed to notice how fast it's producing research. Oh, right, we did the research grant. What am I talking about? Yeah, no, we have a number of people in our community who speak German. So, watch German content creators. So May 13 is when that'll finish. We've got all this going. And right now we're just hemorrhaging money. She's just similarly young. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Yet Metallurgy is suffering production failures because they have no materials. That's fine. We'll get that sorted. If we go to technologies, turn off the filter. Vehicles and components, consumer goods, agriculture. Corporate advancement, advanced research, complex expansion. Allows the construction of up to 2 complex expansion facilities to extend the boundaries of a complex. Construction yards, integrated logistics. Focus on optimizing your logistics allows your company construct dedicated logistics complexes and dispatcher's office. In your other complex, having a dedicated dispatching office increases the loading capacity by 50%. Ah, here we go. Waste dumps. Solid byproduct stockpile. What byproducts are we making, by the way? Solid byproducts. Excellent. So let's go ahead, and the very first thing we're going to get for our new research is solid byproduct stockpiles. So we're going to go ahead and acquire that because our environment is far too nice and must be dealt with. Okay, so that's almost built. We got 2 more days, well, 1 more day because this day's about to finish, until our VP of Operations is available. We can go ahead and make a waste complex. Ooh, you big. All right, so we'll wait on that until ready. Satisfaction is related to the available housing. Right, so basically it's letting me know as things go along that we'll potentially need to expand our housing. Okay, so this facility is basically pretty much online once we've got everything set up. I am probably going to need to import coal, because that's what our VP is working on right now, is I need coal, and she is looking for coal. Okay. Hey boss, I've got great news. I found a solid deposit of coal in the region. It's sitting on land that's not being actively developed, and the owner is more than happy to sell. Should we submit an offer? I think it's worthwhile investment. Select. Oh, you're way over there. That's going to be a very awkward place to work. Okay, well, I didn't realize I could get detached to land, but we own that now. Convert lot into a dump site. Ah, yes. Okay, but first, we have maxed out our water stuff. We need to increase for better infrastructure on the water. So she's working on that. Okay, so we got coal right outside Cleveland. Excellent. So we could build another mining complex, which will be interesting because it's bisected. This is a very awkward position for this. I wonder if I could fill in the river. I'm going to go on the assumption I'm not going to be able to do a lot of changes here. And I'll go ahead and place this up here. I wonder, can I change their roads? What's this? This Rise of Industry 2. The idea behind this game is you're like doing kind of, not factory automation, but like you're doing industrial stuff. Okay. Hey, I'm Robert Reed. Your VP of Operations contacted me about investment you're looking to make in the regional infrastructure. Pay $10,800 to increase the water region's capacity to 10,000. Yes, please. Please reserve that much capacity for use, and I'll pay for the infrastructure you need. And for those that don't know Sherry Kind, absolutely fantastic. Been playing some Enshrouded recently. Also plays like a lot of RimWorld, a lot of other good stuff. Very fun times over there and all that. So definitely recommend Sherry Kind. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and spend the money to increase the water capacity. The liner has arrived and wants stuff that I can't facilitate. Yeah, so my hope is I can make this road go around and then delete this area and then put my complex here. And then try my best to just take advantage of this area as much as we can. To get that sweet, sweet coal. Alright, so let's go here. Add delivery of iron ore from here to there. I can worry about getting the carbon steel going. And then we'll get our coal online. And then with that, we should be able to start making money. What are you complaining about now? Oh, unavailable storage. Yeah, it's complaining I've got too much coal, or too much iron ore here. They're going to try and get the metallurgy up and running soon. Because I got a bunch of workers standing around with nothing to do because I don't have the capability or the capacity to facilitate everything they need. I am curious about how I'm going to get power and water here. I think once... Oh, wait, we've got our VP figured out. So let's go back to the land grants. So that's unavailable. So there's nothing in this lot. But I have a feeling I'm going to need to connect some of these lots to get power and water through the area. Assign them to negotiate access rights to this lot. Will it let me build water pipes and power pipes on other lots? Okay, so that's what we have to do. So I have to get access... rights to these lots. So I could get over here, where the water's at, and get down here to where the power's at to get the coal up and running. Okay, in the meantime, we will build the complex here. So it's a mining complex. And I'll plan it to be positioned like that. So as we expand, I could do more with it. Okay, so we've got this. We will need to build some coal shafts. Wait a second. I think... Do I have that backwards? I did. Okay, glad we caught that right away. Alright, so I've got coal here. Build a second one there. Okay, and we can go to our storage. Oh man, I was not expecting that building to be that big. That's fine. Okay, so I need a mineral loading facility. And a byproduct loading facility. Get the road built here. We're gonna have some serious problems getting the infrastructure hooked up. Because they still need to go to distribution and get our power water hooked up, and we basically are taking up all of this tile we can. And I'm assuming we can't tell it to build on top here and have them fix it? No. This is gonna be really awkward. Okay. Regardless, none of that's gonna work for a hot minute. What we're working on right now is getting access to this area over here where I can run power and all that. Can we collect tolls on our new plot of land? We should be allowed to. Yeah, because I have water. Water's over here, and I'm already working on getting that access to that land. The power's down there. So the idea is I take the power, run it down this way, connect it up there, and then the water, I'm going to try to run it straight through. I don't know if this is going to work. Yeah, so I can't go under that road, and I can't go through the water, which will be interesting. Okay. I've heard we're hoping to secure the rights to the access to land. You're always happy to do business. Yep. So we've got rights to that. I'm probably gonna need rights to this over here. So I need to talk about rights to this plot. And that'll be enough for me to connect the water, I believe. Oh, no, it won't, because that water, well, actually, no. It's gonna take some work, because with this area up here, if I can't cut the water pipes... Well, no, because the water goes across there. It's fine, we'll figure it out. It might be a research I have to buy to be able to build water pipes over that. Let's go check that. So we can go here. Facilitates the construction of a water treatment plant to feed water pipe networks. Okay, so I can produce my own water. I'm gonna grab that just because we can. And then I have the choice of getting coal turbines, so we can power our own stuff with coal. We're running out of housing for workers. I will help build apartment complex. The phone rings with Anakin Jenkins waiting in line. We are delighted to hear that you want to invest in the growth of Cleveland. While the city government does not participate in residential development directly, it has been a personal prerogative to support private enterprise in this regard. So let's cut to the chase. If you're willing to invest in new housing development, I will personally fast-track your application through the appropriate zoning committees and environmental reviews. Let's make this happen. Okay. So we're going to cut a pretty big chunk of money to get a bunch of apartments built. And right now we're just choking real bad on a lot of stuff here. Let's again try and see about negotiate new contract, assign for iron ore, confirm. So I need to ask for an introduction. Because this can't run until we can get those hookups there. And I'm producing all this iron, and I'm paying staff to extract that iron, and it's just sitting there, and production is shutting down because there's nothing I can do with the iron. So it'd be good to have a contract to start getting rid of some of the iron for right now. Also, would be a thing that we import the coal in the meantime. Yes, we're negotiating for this. Once I have that, that should be enough to hook up the water, and then I gotta negotiate my way down here. Honestly, I could probably skip to just buy, like, not doing this tile, but going right for this tile to hook up the power. And then that should give me the utilities all turned on, and once I've got that, everything here will be in order for just sending the coal on down to our metallurgy over here, which means we'll be making the carbon steel, which is the whole thing I'm supposed to be working on right now. Mineral loading, that's all fine. You're not telling me anything new. How much longer do we have till you have that negotiated? Surveying the lot? Maybe it's just a weird descriptor. So what we were doing is requesting access to the lot. Oh, I'm willing to bet that as we access to it, we also get a survey of it. And I assume when we hook this up, our power's going to get overwhelmed, and we'll be back to that. Come on. I'm going to speed up time because basically I can't really do anything until that's resolved. Okay. So there's the fee for access to the lot. Now I need to go back here again. Yeah, so now I got access to get the water hookup over here. So I need to go down here. And we will negotiate access to that, 7 days. In the meantime, we should be able to go in here. Wait. What? Did I not negotiate access to this lot? I'm confused. You're highlighted at a lighter level. You had survey to this lot completed. You have some idea of the deposits. Oh, VP is currently... Did I choose the wrong thing? That'd be sad. Okay, this will be complete on the 16th. Which can't come fast enough because we are just burning money right now. But the hope is the moment I get my steel production on, that number's gonna flip. Okay, yes, I would like to purchase access to the lot. Okay, so with this, I need to bring the power over here, down, across, and all the way down here. Well, I can't connect over water. Interesting. I can't build a road there. I don't care about a road. Okay. So, very convoluted power cable, but that will hook up our power. We now need to figure out what the heck is going on with this lot. I need access to it. So it's surveyed at first. We are in deep trouble. I'm hoping to just ride out the 7 days to get the coal online, and then make the steel happen immediately. Because we're going to be on that edge of going bankrupt. Come on. 2 more days. And then our production pops online. Yes, I would like access to that lot. Okay, so now we need to go here, water. Any way to rearrange this so I could finagle this around? Okay, we got a problem there. We need access to another lot. I'm afraid it's going to be 2. Is there a way I can rearrange this? We can rearrange this. We can make this work. Okay, so you... Yeah, we can make this work. So you're disappearing from here. Cool. You're disappearing from here. Cool. We'll put the water connection over here. And then we do the byproducts export over here. Okay. We're good. So now once they build that, everything should be online here. And then we have to set this to distribute back down to here. And then it'll be a matter of setting up the selling the steel contract and getting that all figured out. Oh yeah, no, if you didn't see that in Kanaka their 3 stream streak, you didn't see one of the announces at TwitchCon is they're gonna make it so stream streaks, if you go back to catching a VOD of a stream you missed, you can recover your stream streak. That I don't know if that's in yet or coming soon or what its status. But that is going to be a thing, so if you've missed a stream, it's just you have to pop in, and you have to watch it long enough for it to count, which I don't know the exact time. Oh. I totally missed that too. It texted me back. I asked too if she could pick up dinner on the way home, and she's like, what do you want? I'm like, well, she's probably already gotten it or gotten home. That's on me. To be fair, I messaged her like right before stream start. Okay. And then Toon will be home in just a couple minutes, and then I'll have to step away from the computer for about 5 minutes to welcome her home and, you know, grab what she's got and everything. And that'll be good. So, the good news is we're right about to bring this online. We still got about 50,000 in the bank, so we have been hemorrhaging money like no one's business. It doesn't seem like there's an upkeep cost for pipes as far as I've seen. Well, these buildings do have an expense to them because you have staff that you're paying. But it seems like most of your money is literally any materials you're purchasing, and then your staffing costs. Okay, so once that's done, this should come online. And then I should be able to set the distribution. It's implying that I don't have enough power. It'll take 3 days to upgrade our power option. No dinner for you. I mean, it would be my fault where she's like, what do you want? And you can't answer. That certainly sucks. We recently received a call from a local university. They have a group of eager engineering students who are hungry for some direct experience. If we fund them, we can get some of their research should they make any discoveries. What should I tell them? Sure, make sure they sign all of the NDAs and clear it with legal. Fund 6 months of research and see what we get. That's 5,000 every 30 days. Sure. Because we're either going to be dead or making money by the time that comes across. Come on, power connection. Okay, yes, I would like to expand the power grid. Did we miss a connection somewhere? You're all connected here, you're down here. Oh, they're actively building the very last segment of our power grid. Okay, now it's online. So I didn't need to expand the power grid right then. So it should all be coming online. Yeah, you're connected. May have to wait for the staff to get here? We had that before where it took like... There, okay. It's online. Alright, so distribution, add delivery, coal, confirm, here, down to there. Yes. Oh, you can only handle 18 coming in. All right. 1 second. I need to go to you. I need to bring that building online badly, so for right now, even if it's less... The point is, I need to set up more metallurgy here, which is fine. That's not an unexpected thing. Okay, so we've hit as much as I can handle. Now we're going to want to go to contracts, negotiate new contract, yes, resource, carbon steel, confirm, I would like to sell it. I don't honestly care who it goes to. What is our production even going to be at? You produce 4 coils of steel per day. Okay. So go here. Negotiate new. Assign. Carbon steel. Sell. Production details. Go here. So we're going to be producing 4 coils of steel a day. So that'd be 24 coils in that time. Let's give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. So we can go ahead and sign that contract. Choose OK. Go distribution. Add delivery, carbon steel from here to headquarters. Okay, and that'll need to be 4 a day. Confirm. All right, so in theory, all of that should be wired up now, where we'll at least be making money. It'll take a couple of days for that to kick in, and then hopefully we won't be in too much trouble with that. Gotcha. Alright. Okay, so they're gonna give me a little bit over the value. Cool. So that should be our first contract making money. So right now I just need to get things settled where we're not hemorrhaging money in a big way. Excuse me, boss, but one of our investors is concerned about our cash flow situation. Mostly that it's not flowing that well. They've offered to float a loan. Are you interested? I'm sure it's just a temporary cash flow situation, no reason to take on debt. Now the big question here is, you appear to be absolutely full storage-wise of just iron. So we have a problem. Basically, it's overflowing with iron, which is causing it to not accept deliveries. So that should fix it. And there goes our coal. Alright, so we're going to need to expand its distribution centers to be able to accept more iron and coal. And we're probably also going to need to expand our production, because this is going to take 2 loads of coal for 4 loads of iron to make 4 steel. Right now, how much are we shipping of stuff? I think we're shipping at like a massive excess. Oh, we need to fix the ratio of these deliveries, don't we? Okay. So with that, for right now, let's cut you down to just 4 and bump you up to 6. Which is the opposite of the way I need it in the long term, but because I already am storing a ton of iron, I need to get that going. But once I have money coming in, I need to get another carbon steel blast furnace to get my production of carbon steel increased, which will then start gobbling up some of these resources a bit more efficiently. And then as we start balancing it out, you know, I'll have to do some more jumbling of things and all that. Right now, we're just in dire straits with our money. We're burning about $1,300 per in-game day, but I should be able to turn that around to getting a bit more out. See, not to brag, but I'm quite the squash player. A superior at automotive systems, everyone's afraid to play me. Care to play soon as I'm in town? Sure, but let's see, a lot of us. Invite the customer to take advantage of the club sponsorship and pay for the whole thing. Sounds great. You're an important customer who buys a lot from us. Let me know when and where. We'll gain a little bit of influence, sure. I have a bad feeling that I done goofed. Okay, so we are producing 16 tons of iron, and we're only using 4. What would it cost us to bring up more production? Because I have got to get money coming in. Turn that building off. I don't... Actually, for right now, turn off our iron production and just let them bring in the coal, start burning that down, and then we can turn back on our iron production. Because that'll clear out the warehouse. It should have done that a while ago. Oh, sweet thank you for some actual influx of money. Alright, so we need to go to our metallurgy thing. And so blast furnace, another one is 42,000. So we need to get ourselves back up to 50,000 or so. Oh, right, it's every 6 days we get paid. Right now, close that. You can more than handle what I need. I need to make enough. We're probably dead here. Shut down the entire iron production entirely. Yeah, no, money is getting dire. I missed that it was we get paid every 6 days, not every day, so we were still underwater. So let's see if we instantly lose at $0, because I got $1. 1. Will we get paid in the next refresh, or will we get 0? I'm feeling like we're gonna get 0. For right now, you could turn that off as well. Hey, boss. Trust executive reporting in the day-to-day. Let's see. What do you want me to work on? Let's see. Shadow or VP of Operations. See if you two can put together a proposal for acquiring some land. Sure. I'm not... Oh, good. We got paid. It feels like I should have bankrupt there. And it just drug on a long time at $1. So I'm not sure if everything's up and up with that, but we'll see. So right now I've got tons of storage here. So we keep it running. We have been turning off more and more of our stuff, which will help. And I'm hopefully going to knock down the... Yeah, so we're knocking down some of the costs. The downside is that utilities agreement is our main expense. Let's look at our contracts. New contract, assign, select resource, iron ore, confirm. I would like to sell it. We need to go and get... Manage relationship. Ask for an introduction. Send request. Go here. Negotiate a new contract. Okay. Coal. Confirm. I would like to sell. Manage relationship. I don't have enough influence, nor should I spend the money right now. That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how to get the introduction. What are we eating? It's you bring a fancy bottle of wine to, like, schmooze them over. So what we're trying to do right now, making partner visits. These visits will increase your relationship with other companies in which you have contracts. That will get you more influence and make future contracts more lucrative. That's good. But what I'm trying to do... I think we're just going to go underwater. Like, the problem is, with my utilities being what they are... Can I tone these down a lot? Modify agreement? Confirm that for right now. Confirm that right now. Alright. Yeah, so the issue... We got a couple issues here. One is I needed to get it so I was able to sell... Like, I overexpanded my iron and my iron early. We built the metallurgy before I could sell it. So all of that was hemorrhaging money this whole time for literally no benefit. And I needed to do more effort into building up the relationship for the iron ore sale, so that all this surplus that's just been stockpiling, I could be selling it this whole time as some income. But I've been still figuring out how on earth to do some of this stuff. Because what I'm struggling to figure out is, I've got where I can assign this person to go, like, I want to sell iron, confirm. We've got all that set up, and it says I need to be introduced to someone, and I've supposedly got enough of the, I've got enough influence with them that I should be able to get the introduction, which I'm trying to choose manage relationship, and it says to ask for an introduction, which would cost 15 influence, and I have 21. And I send a request, and then nothing happens. And I'm not sure what to do about that. Alright, bear with me, chat. We're about to hit an ad break, and I hear Tomb's home, so I'm going to run downstairs, welcome Tomb home and all that, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. But thank you again for tuning in, and I'll be back here in just a few minutes. Alright. Would you go away? I'm trying to commit crime.
Could you not bang on that door? I would like you to keep... I want the door. Stop hitting the door. I want the door. Thank you. If at first you don't learn your lesson, honk the horn more.
Okay. There's fuel in there, but because we pulled the reactor, it doesn't look like it's that bad. Nice. So yeah, literally all I had to do was just grab the reactor and be like, alright, get it out of here. Oh! There's apparently still fuel in that line? He barely did anything to the whole situation. So, alright. Storge. Walter's asking me questions about my coffee bean dealer. I'm not telling.
Raj is hot.
Raj is hot.
It is good for Raj.
Yes, good for Raj indeed. I love you.
I love you.
Too much is like, Raj is hot. Good for Raj. Raj is like, I know. I am dapper AF. But I'm not telling. I know what he...
Well, at least we did enough damage, it's gonna die. No! No, no, no! What have you done? Why would you punch a warhead? You're alive. It's amazing that you are alive, but you are in fact alive. Literally everything in Storge just got exploded.
like are very not comfy. Okay.
All right.
So let's see if we are utterly doomed beyond all recovery, or if we can recover this. Wait, a trade show has gone up? What? What do you mean a trade show's gone on? I should have read that because I clicked on it. Oh, okay, I see. For a big sum of money, I could attend the trade show, but I don't have a big sum of money, so we won't be. Contract problem. There's a message from Harry Mason. Superior automotive system lands on your desk. I hear you're falling behind in your deliverables. Is this going to be a problem? I would hate to invoke the penalties clause in our contract. Please call me. They're upset by our recent thing. Pay the penalty. I'm assuming... Why did we have a penalty? We should have had plenty. Because you have the storage of materials. You're producing 4 coils per day. And we only need to deliver something like 16 something steel. This is all running. Yeah, 16 coils every 6 days. So that's only a little bit over 2 coils per day. and you're producing 4 coils per day, and then delivering them over here. Yeah, and you're getting 15.6 coils stored. Why did that fail? Because yeah, we have a bunch there. I'm so confused. It's not helping my situation. Hello, I'm Gilbert Jones of Lone Star Supplies. It has come to my attention that you are not paying your bills on electricity agreement. Look, I understand that on occasion we have a lot on our plate, but I'm afraid my hands are tied. If you can't start paying your bills now, I'm gonna have to cut you off. Yeah, so we've basically lost. Like that's where we're done. Because my power's about to get cut off and all that. Alright, so what's interesting is we have failed at this point. So you do a new game on that one. What I think we're probably going to do is, because I don't want to start the whole process over and go with that, is I do think we're going to go ahead and take that as it's time for us to switch it up. Because I did say we're going to do Roadcraft for the second half of stream, and we're about an hour from that split anyways. So not enough time to really get into another run, but all that. But yeah, so my thoughts on the game. I actually like what they're going on. I think my pro and con here is if we look at this whole campaign mode, where you've got all these, and the assumption of what would happen is, as I finish these, all these other ones get unlocked, and you get more and more. I do actually like the automation setup. There is a few things I feel like it's kind of hard to get the information on. And just kind of the whole thing of where it's like, okay, you're gonna get 16 of these per 6 day, and that one's producing this per day. I kind of wish there was more of an overview to be able to see like your input outputs like in one place. Just to not have to be around like doing the math on every single thing. That said, it's not a problem. The tutorial is exceedingly verbose, so we actually got rid of that verbosity on the first mission. And I did make a mistake that I feel like is probably a typical mistake, that I was trying to set up the production line right at the beginning of the other one, and I'm not still sure why we couldn't introduce ourselves to the guy who would buy our iron ore. I got enough influence. I said like, hey, go introduce me. And it's almost like I didn't get the button registered to do it. I tried it twice. Because if I could have gotten the introduction, then I could have started opening a contract to then sell all that extra iron ore I was just sitting on mountains of. I could have been sending that out to make a bunch of money and probably been profitable. But I'm not sure what's going on there, like if it's not communicated well within the UI, or I as a player was making a mistake. I don't really know one way or the other. But that would be the change I'd make the next time I play, is I'd get the iron ore set up, take the time to establish the relationship with that person, to then sell the iron ore, to then pursue the next thing. That coal deposit we found, that was in a really rough spot. I don't know if it's randomly generated each time or like it's pre-seeded.
What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, honestly, I could check by just creating a new run and just looking. Let's do that real. I don't want to. It's gonna be a bunch. I was curious, like if the Cleveland map is the same every time. I'm gonna guess it is. Which is a little bit of a disappointment. I kind of would rather have like one really big map with randomly generated stuff, and they might not do that for performance reasons. I don't know. The maps did seem relatively big. I guess what I'm actually looking for. Well, no, because Sandbox still gives me the existing maps. Yeah, no, because they're yeah, you can see it's right here behind my head that they do show you the existing map and how big it is. Yeah, so it's kind of a bummer that the maps are constrained in that way. I think it's fine, but I could definitely see where it'd be much more exciting to have like a giant map to work with and all that. But that's our games. Nevertheless, I do think this is a good game. I actually don't know what it runs. They gave me a key. It is coming out tomorrow. And all that. I have enjoyed what I've played. I definitely have more to learn from it and all that good stuff. Like, I definitely think there's a good thing there. It just could use like a little bit of adjustments here and there. So with that said, what's going to end up happening is, with people over on YouTube, the stream is going to end for you, and you're going to get kicked over to where the next part's going to start with Roadcraft. So I'll see you all in a couple minutes. And then over here on Twitch, we're going to go ahead and close this game. We're going to bring Roadcraft out, get everything switched over, do all that kind of stuff. And it should be